Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And you know, in this chaotic country called South Africa, the gangster state where basically the police force have lost control and organized crime is now just rampant, the sheer genius of the ANC government just becomes apparent over and over and over again. And I'll give you an example. The police minister, Bekele, he's talking about taking guns away from the people who are upholding the laws of the land, so that they are totally at risk when it comes to these organized gangs. They've got no way of defending themselves. Absolutely crazy. Lobby wars over gun control are looming following Minister of Police Bekele's statement last week in support of stricter legislation on gun possession. While the Firearms Control Act allows people to own more than one gun under certain conditions, Bekele's iteration that individuals should not have firearms because they add to security risks in the country was met with fury from lobby groups fighting to keep the act as it is. Adelaide Kirsten, spokesperson for Gun Free South Africa, said Bekele's statement was the start of a much-needed leadership from government in the conversation around gun safety. Though leaked versions of the draft amendment bill suggested people would lose their rights to own firearms for self-defence, the document has yet to be tabled in Parliament before going for the final public consultation process. Despite this, Kirsten was hopeful Bekele's remarks calling for anti-gun ownership policy direction would this year see Parliament finally put the matter to rest. This is the strongest signal we have had from the Minister suggesting that there is an amendment coming before Parliament this year. We support the Minister's calls, and I think it's providing the type of leadership needed for a society to imagine what it would be like without this gun crisis. Now, the gun crisis is because of the gangs that rule South Africa. They've all got their own little patch of turf, from Cape Town to Johannesburg to Durban. Wherever there's a community of people, there are gangs armed with guns. And if this law goes through, the only ones left in South Africa, apart from the police with guns, will be the gangs, who will run the country even more completely. But other organizations vowed to fight for the right to own arms for self-defense. Minority rights group AfriForum suggested that restricting this would be an infringement on the right to life. AfriForum's head of community safety, Ian Cameron, said Bekele's comments undermined the freedom of citizens. He also argued that the proposed restrictions on gun ownership and the campaign to disarm the general population was not practicable, especially under an administration struggling to optimize the policing system, which is a complete disgrace. Cameron said, Bekele is again trying to limit the freedom of others while his own house is not in order. Only recently, Bekele answered parliamentary questions and acknowledged that 500 service pistols were lost by South African Police Service officials who are allowed to take firearms home over the past 3 financial years. And he said an additional 10,765 rounds of ammunition were also lost by officials while off duty. This, whether in addition to or as part of the 9.5 million rounds of ammunition and 4,357 firearms otherwise lost by the South African Police Service over the past 6 financial years, indicates a massive problem. Kirsten said it was necessary to restrict gun ownership based on proper research into the roots of violence in South Africa. She conceded that some categories of gun owners were not the problem. She said, what we need to do is unpacking what it means to have fewer guns in civilian hands and figure out where the problems lie when it comes to gun safety. There is no evidence to suggest that hunting rifles are the problem. The evidence is very clear that handguns are the weapons of choice for criminals, and for good reason. They are easy to use, durable, and easy to conceal. They are also the weapon of choice for civilians who want to defend themselves. We know that 25 guns are stolen every single day in South Africa. The Confederation of Hunting Associations of South Africa said there had been limited engagement from the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee for Police, and they were cautiously optimistic this would continue. So there you have it, guys. There's a law which is currently before the Parliament of South Africa, this corrupt ANC government, which is going to try and take away your last form of defense, which is owning a gun. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, stay safe.